Hey, I'm Matt from Badass Outdoors, now located in Littleton, New Hampshire, and this is my introduction to the Northeast, the Pemigewasset Wilderness Loop. Enjoy the video. For those interested, please skip to the end of this video for a review of the Fjall Raven Guyot 75. We used Aquamira water disinfection tablets while hiking down the Shoal Pond Trail. It was convenient to just dip our bottles into the pools and disinfect them with a single Aquamira tablet per liter of water to keep us on the move. The Frontier portable water filter was a nice asset to keep in the pack. It weighed almost nothing and made for a quick, refreshing drink. Two cups of water. With no moving parts, the Vargo Decagon stove is an ultralight alcohol stove for the fast and light backpacker. Using a ferro rod from Light My Fire, the stove is very easy to light. Depending on weather conditions, the stove takes between 5 and 10 minutes to bloom, at which point one may start cooking. The Decagon stove made the water hot enough to enjoy our dehydrated meals. The Decagon stove brought stream water up to around 170 degrees on 1 ounce of denatured alcohol while using the Vargo hexagon stove as a windscreen. Weighing around 6 ounces, the Leatherman Juice can be a backpacker's best friend. Upon our return, we were told that Mount Guyot was receiving 75 to 85 mile per hour gusts while we were traversing its summit.
What's up? My name's Bam. I'm hiking the AT, the Appalachian Trail, and here I am in beautiful New Hampshire, the White Mountains. They're definitely rugged and physical and demanding, but it's been a blast. Met some great folks here last night, had a really good time, and stayed warm with my Dr. McGillicuddy's Methomint schnapps.
This is Guyot Shelter. Mount Lafayette from West Bond. Mount Garfield from West Bond. Bondcliff from West Bond. Pemigewasset River from West Bond. South Twin from West Bond. Mount Guyot or Guyot from West Bond.
Hello, my name's Corey. We just got done the Bonds, our longest trip to date. I finished the New Hampshire 48.
Hi, I'm Randy. I'm in pursuit of the New Hampshire 48. Soon to be done. Get my patch.
Mount Washington from Mount Bond. Lafayette and West Bond from Mount Bond. Loon Mountain and Bondcliff from Mount Bond. Hey, I'm Matt from Badass Outdoors, and I wanted to introduce our viewers to a new company that we've come across and kind of came across us, and subsequently we've completely fallen in love with them. They are Fjall Raven out of Sweden, and I want to show you a couple of their products that they've been generous enough to let me test out on my 4-day Pemigewasset Wilderness kind of circumnavigation with our manager Jim. So this is the middle of day 4, and I want to tell you about the pack that will now replace my vast collection of other packs. This is the Guyot. This is the Guyot 75. It comes in a 65, a 55, and I believe a 95. You can check our website at badassoutdoors.com for that information. It comes in a bunch of colors, but that's not what's important. What's important is the first thing that Fjall Raven brings to the table that few other companies have is a super durable fabric. This is their G1000 fabric. It's proprietary fabric. It's as bomb-proof as it gets, and as much as that term is overused in most pack and apparel descriptions, this is the real deal. We've been dragging it up 4,000 foot granite peaks for 4 days through the Pemi wilderness with vastly, incredibly, densely overgrown trails, and it barely shows a mark. So let me get into the guts of this thing and show you what's going on. The first thing is that there is a dedicated sleeping bag compartment. What makes the sleeping bag compartment special is that this layer of G1000 fabric rolls down and snaps away to these snaps down here, which I'll show you in a moment. and inside is a second container that is all netting. So all of your wet gear, all of that funky gear, we've been dealing with a lot of moisture up here, all that funky gear can dry while you hike, which is really nice. The Pika 75 has your typical brain. The brain has 2 rear compartments and 1 underneath. I've been using this one a lot just to stow my keys and credit card that I'm not going to use until I return to the vehicle. And of course behind here is all the accoutrement to make it into a fanny pack, which is nice for peak bagging. We're going up and over all of our peaks, so everything's coming with us. So the first unique kind of design is the compression straps. There's 2 on each side, but what makes them really unique is that between these there's a giant bar. You know, it's ultra light but ultra stiff. You can see that it's not bending, and what that does is when I compress this pack, it brings the entire front backwards. It doesn't just puff out the middle here, it actually compresses the entire front of the pack to the entire rear of the pack, which makes the suspension system a little bit more agreeable. Like I said, it's a panel loader, so I can open that. Because of these rigid kind of bars, that opens nicely, and I can really access all my gear. My reservoir's in here, spindrift collar up top, so it'll haul some gear, and that's just the main compartment. The sides are also enormous bellow pockets, and what I've been doing is trying to keep the pack low because of the nature of the trails we've been going up. But these side pockets I've been loading up with my ultralight gear that I also want access to in a pinch. So my Fjall Raven jacket, which has an item name that I'm not going to try to pronounce, or I will for your entertainment. I think it's Kalfjall or something like that. But it's a badass soft shell. It's been keeping the wind from chilling me, but allowing it myself to breathe so that I have all my perspiration escaping my body and not dropping my core temperature. But back to the pack. Side pockets, brain, main compartment, sleeping bag compartment. Total access to everything. So if I lay this puppy back, yeah, got my food right there. Got all my cook kit right there. Sleeping bag, sleeping pad, and stuff sacker in the bottom. Rain hat, not gonna need it today. My Ibex Woolies base layer. My Ibex hoodie. Of course, my Go Everywhere Eagle's Nest Outfitter double nest plus Pro Fly. Gotta be responsible. Got my AMK kit. Rain pants. My Rock On full dome fleece hat, absolute favorite. Ever important classic reading material from the man. And my also Go Everywhere Outdoor Research Revel jacket. Super light, super tough. This jacket's actually been down the entire long trail for 28 days and is still as hardcore as it gets. So that guy is stowed, not going to be needed today. And then Fjall Raven is kind and generous enough to throw me, everyone who purchases this pack, fully functional rain cover, which we had to use a great deal yesterday. Super tough, super light, and completely compressible, which is a bonus. So that goes in there too. Panel up. Zipper. Zipper. Stuff it down. Everyone goes inside. There's a compression strap on top. That just kind of brings everything together. And then the brain. And I'm pretty much ready to go. I just got to compress these straps, and I want to show you how these bars function. So, take the profile view. Basically the way this happens is the pockets are empty, everything fits right in the body. So, compression strap, and then I just pull that in, and that compresses the top part of this bar. Secondary bottom compression strap, same deal. And it just compresses the pack into a nice thin profile so that when I'm moving around, this doesn't gain momentum over me and take me down as I start to lose balance. I can really regain and recover. So Fjall Raven's the company. Absolutely amazing gear. I'll get into these pants in another video. It's basically G1000, which is their ultra durable stuff, and then a simple soft shell material to allow for ultimate breathability, wind and water resistance. So I'm loving it. You can check it out at sorry, that's a lie. That's not the name of our store. You can check it out at badassoutdoors.com. Our Pemigewasset Wilderness loop took us up Z Cliff Trail, over Zealand Mountain. It took us over Mount Guyot, West Bond, Mount Bond, and Bondcliff. It was amazing. Please check back for more trips, trip reports, and gear reviews.